Then next topic is a programming language. A programming language is a vocabulary and set of grammatical rules for instructing a computer or computing device to perform specific tasks. In other words, it's a set of instructions for the computer to solve the problem. Programming language is a formal language with set of instructions to the computer to solve problem. The problem will accept the data to perform computation. What is meant by program? Program is equal to algorithm plus data. Need for program. What are the needs we have for programming language? Programming languages are also used to organize the computation. Using programming language, we can solve different problems to improve the efficiency of the programs. Types of programming language. What are all the types? In general, programming language are classified into three types. There are low-level machine language, and intermediate assembly language, and high-level programming language. What is meant by machine language? We also know that the machine language is consists of only zeros and ones. Machine language is the lowest level programming language, except for computer that utilize programming and micro. Machine language are the only languages understood by computer. It also called as a low-level language. Example code 100110011, and we are assigning that 11100. That means we are just interchanging zeros to 1 and ones to 0 except the first number. And then assembly language. What is an assembly language? Assembly language consists of some instructions. Same instruction as a machine language, but the instructions and variables have names instead of being just numbers. Assembly language is same that of machine language, but it has a numbers, not a numbers, it has a values or a something names. Assembly language consists of mnemonics, and mnemonics that correspond to unique machine instructions. Add x comma y, sub x comma y. High level language is a programming language such as C, Fortran, Pascal that enables a program to write programs that are more or less independent of particular type of computer. Such languages are considered high level because they are closer to human languages, furthermore machine languages. So, high level languages is mean for humans on interaction between the humans and the machines is known as high level languages. And ultimately, programs written in the high level language must be translated into machine language by a compiler or interpreter. Example, the code, see the code, print of hello world. High level programming language are further divided as given below. Interpreter programming language, functional programming language, compiled programming language, procedural programming language, scripting programming language, markup programming language, logical programming language, concurrent programming language, and object oriented programming language. And each programming language has an example. For example, interpreter programming language is nothing but a Python is an interpreter programming language. And functional programming language is a query, F# is a functional programming language. Compiled programming language is a Java, C++, Ada, Algol is a compile. And procedure is nothing but a MATLAB, CList, C is a procedural language. Scripting programming language is a PHP, AppleScript, JavaScript is a scripting programming language. Markup programming language is HTML, SZML, XML is a markup programming language. Logical programming language is a Prolog, Frill. Concurrent programming language is nothing but a ABCL, concurrent Pascal. Object programming language is a C++, Ada, Java, and Python or the object programming language. First, we are going to see about interpreter programming language. Interpreter is a program that executes instructions written in a high level languages. An interpreter reads the source code, one instruction or one line at a time, converts this line into machine code and executes it. See the diagram is a source code, and source code is given to the interpreter, and the interpreter gives a connected to the output. Compiled programming language. Compile is to transform a program written a high level programming language from source code into object code. First, the compiled programming language, first the compiler converts the source code to object code. This can be done by using tool called compiler. A compiler reads the whole source code and translates it into a complete machine code program to perform the request task, which is output as a new file. See the diagram, the source code sent to the compiler, and the compiler change the source code to object code, and the object code sent to the executor, and the executor gives an output. So, completely the output will be changed from the input. The codes are changed, nothing but say the output will be accurate, but same as not a source code, it comes as an object code. This is the difference between interpreter programming language and compiler programming language. What is meant by interpreter? Translates one statement at a time. This is in compiled programming language, scans entire program and translates it as a whole into machine code. It takes less amount of time to analyze the source code, but the overall execution time is slower. And it takes large amount of time to analyze the source code, but the overall execution time is comparatively faster. Then no intermediate object code is generated, hence or memory efficient in interpreter. Whereas in compiled programming language generates intermediate object code which further requires linking, hence requires more memory. An interpreter program continues translating the program until first error is met, in which case it stops, hence debugging is easy. In compiled programming language, it generates the error message only after the scan whole program, hence debugging is comparatively hard compared to interpreter. Interpreter is nothing but a Python and Ruby are the examples of interpreter, and C, C++, Java is a compiled programming language, examples of compiled programming languages.